You had no other choice but to be real with yourself. It came to the point where you had to truly decide for yourself what really, really matters for you. What really, really matters to you. You got to that point where you had to decide. You got to that point where you realized it wasn't so much anymore about what you could see, but it was about the faith and the trust in the process that would now get you to where and what you know rightfully belongs to you. You got to that point where you realize it could no longer be subjected to what others are expecting of you, but more so the expectations that you set for yourself. You got sick and tired because you realized the more of yourself that you gave to others, the more worthless they made you feel. You knew your value. You know your value. Others knew your value as well, but they were banking on the fact that you do not know who you are. But you see, you understand the laws of karma. You understand those subtle principles that are in place that no ritual can counter. And you decided that you were going to live in a way that would allow for you to not go against the reality of self, the reality of who you really are from within, right? You tapped in. You tapped in all the way. And you decided, you made it a point, you decided you were going to go within yourself. You were going to project onto others as you would want projected onto you. You said there was just no way that you was just going to treat them the way they treating you, because you understand how the subtle principles of the universe really work. To them, they thought you were weak. They saw the fact that you were willing to give yourself over to that which maintains harmony. They saw that as a weakness. In fact, the reality of the truth in the saying that the darkness saw the light but comprehended it not was applicable to you. But within yourself, you found a certain peace. Within yourself, you have found a certain peace that cannot be disturbed by those who have not even recognized it within themselves. So much for accepting the path that chose you. But in fact, you chose the path because the very second that you accepted that you were going to subscribe to that labeling that upholds all that which is considered righteousness, you accepted to walk on the path. So regardless of whatever it was that you encountered on your path, you gracefully embraced it. And by His grace, even if it was negative, you transcended it. Even without thinking much about it, you were able to overcome all the subtle obstacles that were coming your way. Some of these obstacles were intentional, not necessarily to break you, but the individuals that so happened to be the vehicle that possessed the energy that was coming at you in their vibration of thought, they wanted to break you, but it was actually on the path to strengthen you. That way, as you were journeying down the path, you would be able to accumulate this information, this data, that you can then present to somebody else as that which could benefit them and quicken them in their own ascension process. My dear brothers and sisters, Welcome to the Chosen's Path. I am the common denominator. Today we're going to get to the very, very bottom of it. You got fed up. You couldn't even lie to yourself no more. You used to pretend. You said it got to that point. Nah, it can't be like that no more. You had to be honest with yourself. You realize that you have but a certain amount of time in the vehicle. I'm talking about the body. You have but a certain amount of time and you can't waste it. You ought to use it wisely. So you decided you could no longer give your energy to individuals who are intentionally and consciously trying to work against the nature of self. And we're talking about the real self. They have decided to become enemies of themselves. And with this energy, they seek to project it upon you. You realized it. And you said you can no longer put yourself in positions where others will treat you like you do not belong, like you're not supposed to be here, like you're not supposed to be breathing the oxygen that we are breathing. It could no longer be that way. You read and you understand. They too, they read and they understand. It just so happens that they came across content that you read, that they read too, but when they read it, something else was activated within them. Something that brought about a certain hatred for that which represents righteousness. Something was quickened within them that will get them to despise anyone that is choosing to favor that or to side with that which upholds righteousness. On the other hand, you said it couldn't be that way. After studying the material, something quickened within you. That which got you to love your neighbor as you truly love yourself. That which got you to forgive others as you would want to be forgiven. That which got you to do unto others as you would want done unto you was quickened within you. It wasn't the mindset of you were going to do however you please and screw the next person and disregard how others feel. Something quickened within you so much for choosing to dive into the script that was labeled righteousness, only to embody that frequency. And as you are on the path, you would encounter other individuals who are not so much in tune with the reality of that frequency because something else was quickened within them. It is not so much to say you are now going to put yourself to be at odds, to always constantly be in battle mode. That's not what this is all about. You have gone beyond wanting to always prove a point. You have gone beyond always feeling like you have to be going against individuals to be understood. You've gone even beyond the point of always having to explain yourself because you've found and tapped into a certain peace that is within you, a certain peace that even they themselves have not gotten to tap into. And you are longing to share this peace because you know with this peace comes joy, with this peace comes happiness, with this peace comes a very, very deep, profound sense of fulfillment. And little did you know that even your desire to want to get others to experience this would now put you at odds, my dear brothers and sisters. A very, very interesting planet, a very, very interesting world that we have found ourselves in. But we must realize the reality of matter and the reality of spirit and see how they all work together on this great plane that we are all a part of, my dear brothers and sisters. You have found something within yourself, something that no matter how hard you work, you can't really attain. Something that even with all the money in the world, you truly cannot buy. Something that no matter all the hatred that may be projected at you, and even the love, it doesn't really alter the reality of that which you have discovered. In truth, it was well worth it to stay on the path all the way, because there are those who try to testify of the reality of that which sits at the end of the path, but even they themselves have not undertaken the path. So they will laugh at those who are on the path. They will laugh at the chosen because they trust, but they are experiencing the fruits of giving themselves over to instruction rather than being entrapped in the delusion of wanting to go through certain unnecessary experiences. My dear brothers and sisters, keep going. Continue to enjoy the kingdom of God, which has always been here, but just suppressed. Continue to enjoy it, because there are those who they see you enjoying the inner kingdom. They wish that they too could enjoy this inner kingdom, but they deny the reality of its truth, which